Hiya, Silverball here, back for another Transformers review, and this is Defensor. Hang on, I'll get rid of that. I didn't get Defensor with a gun, so I gave him Spoil Sport. Alright, Defensor, Protectobots, Autobots, Generation 1. Defensor is the first of the Autobot combiners that you see. He comes in before the aerial bots, and he comes in before the Technobots, which is Series 3. Now, the Protectobots really do embolden the Autobots' desire to protect life. Like all of them apart from Devastator, he's made up of 5. The leader is Hotspot, and Hotspot's very charismatic. He'd make a very good Autobot leader. He's very charismatic, he's a very good speaker, he's very gung-ho, he wants to be where the action is all the time, and the other Protectobots sometimes have problems keeping up with him. You've got Blades, the helicopter, who is different in the fact that he's got more of a violence streak with him. He's got a very strong sense of martial honour. He prefers hand-to-hand combat than blasting away with a gun. You have First Aid, the ambulance, and First Aid hates seeing any machine in pain. Hates it. He'll confine an Autobot to sickbay for the smallest of things. You've got the police car, Streetwise. Yeah, Streetwise. Didn't think of that. And Streetwise is very aware of his surroundings. Very aware of his surroundings. He knows what's going on all the time. And he's got a great adaptability that's sometimes absent in the other Autobots, and indeed in the Decepticons. He can, anywhere he is, he can adapt very easily. The other one is the bike, Grooves. Now, Grooves is the pacifist. Grooves is the pacifist of the Technobots, of the Protectobots. He doesn't like to fight at all, and he doesn't see him. He worries about his role in the Protectobots as a combatant, which is very contrary to the cartoon. Because in the episode The Ultimate Weapon, which focuses a lot on First Aid, who takes a powder and buggers off, because he's the pacifist. And when Metroplex's transforming card gets stolen by Swindle, First Aid interrupts him but won't fight. And he blames himself for it, and it takes quite a lot of convincing of both Hotspot and Rodimus to convince First Aid that his help is needed, for the simple fact that, well, it's First Aid that knows how Metroplex works. Okay, now Defensor himself sees himself as a father figure to humans. He tries to make friends with them constantly. He very much looks out for them as much as he can. And when you're an 80-foot fighting machine, you're going to come up against a few problems with that, because the fact that humans don't even come up to your knee means they're quite scared of you. They're quite intimidated for you, and it makes him quite sad that he can't do more to protect them. And he can't do more to be friends with them. Okay, now onto the toy itself. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's got an all-round bulkiness to it. It's got the same bulkiness that Computron has. Unlike Superion, who has those anorexic legs, and unlike Medasaur, who's just weedy, Defensor does give off the impression that he is a fighter, and he will kick your backside from 10 ways to Cybertron to get his point across. And one of the big differences about him is that he doesn't have a separate head. All the other Jessolds have a separate head. Defensor doesn't. His head is actually attached to Hotspot, and it actually moves. His head moves. You can turn his head from side to side within the confines of the ladder at the back. So that's very different to all the others. The others can't do that. Okay, you can pick the head up and turn it round, but that really doesn't look well. Size-wise, despite the fact that he's so big, he's actually the smallest of them. He's only about 8 inches in height in total. When you compare that to Predaking, who's about 11, Superion comes a close second at about 10.5, and Computron's just over 9. And when you stand him next to the others, he does look quite small. But it's not too bad with him, because he's broad. You know, he broadens out and he fills out quite nicely. Streetwise is my favourite of them. I'll show you the car now. Unlike the other combiners, it's not the head that you shove up into the knee or the arm socket. You've actually got a separate piece here that goes in, and Streetwise transforms very nicely indeed. I'll just show you now. And the main thing I like about him is the head part. because the head part looks very, very nice compared to some of the others, especially the likes of Hotspot, who's just got a little black blob for a head. You probably can't see it very well on this camera angle, and this camera focus, but he's got a full helmet with protruding cheek guards, and the eyes are blue, and it looks very, very nice, and it's one of the closest representations I've seen to his cartoon, apart from Scott Prime's head. But it is a very nice toy, and you can tell that it's circa of the mid-80s. I think Defensor was released in 85. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to double check. It may have been 86. Because it's still got the metal parts. This part's on Streetwise, for instance. That part's all metal. Groove has metal parts to him as well. He's got a metal back. The back of Groove is metal. The others are all plastic, obviously. Or his first aid. No, the others are all plastic, including Hotspot. And I'll just try and get this back in now. The legs are a little loose, but other than that. But yeah, it is a very nice toy. And it is probably one of the nicest of the early ranges. It is probably one of the nicest. Okay, that's Defensor. If you can get him, get him. It took me ages to get Defensor because I never realised that the head is not separate. And it was only, and I kept looking for Defensor, and it was like, where's the head part? Where's the head part? Where's the head part? Never realised that Hotspot, the head's different. Actually, I had to look on TFU for the parts to him to realise, hang on a second, he doesn't have a separate head. It's attached to Hotspot. And then I eventually picked him up and got him quite cheaply as well, as I said in the Starscream video. That's it for my combiners. I won't be doing any more combiner reviews for the next couple of weeks, mainly because I switched to full time in my new job. And it's now going on to monthly pay, so. But I'll probably be back with Predaking. Predaking's actually quite expensive, actually, even on eBay. I haven't seen him for less than 100 quid. He's quite an expensive one. I don't quite know why he's so expensive, but anyway, I'll probably be back with Predaking. I will be back in the meantime with more Transformers. I still will be picking up the odd one or two here or there. And I'll probably do another game review, seeing as my Baldur's Gate review was so well received. I'll probably do another game review. But until then, this is Silverbolt saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.